I'm Heather Callow, and I'm currently serving as your elder for adult spiritual growth. Just to acquaint you a little with our family, my husband Tom sings in the choir, has served as a deacon, and sometimes helps out with tech support on Sunday mornings. We have a daughter and son-in-law who live in Orange County, and we moved here from the Washington, D.C. area a few years after our daughter elected to attend UCLA as an undergraduate. So she has made Californians out of all of us. We began attending St. Peter's shortly after we moved here, and what drew us to St. Peter's was, guess what? The excellent adult spiritual growth program. And we have been attending here now for more than a dozen years. As Anna said, the purpose of this segment is for us to connect with fellow congregants on a deeper level. And so one thing to know about me is that I am the product of something that is sometimes called friendship evangelism. I am here with you this morning as a believer in Jesus, not because I grew up in a church-going family, I did not because of the influence of a great Christian writer or Christian speaker, nor because of a terrific minister or youth minister, or even a wonderful VBS program. I'm a Christian because a fellow high school friend took a risk and began talking to me about knowing Jesus. Now, initially I was quite skeptical, but I could see that her faith was genuine, and the idea that I could know and be known by the God who created the universe was something I felt compelled to explore. And the rest, as they say, is history. But that experience of coming to faith through the faith of a friend has shaped how I move through my life. I try to always be aware that everyone I meet has a spiritual dimension to them, and I look for ways to enter that dimension with them. Over the years, I have seen God work in remarkable ways in some of the people that I've encountered, but I've also seen God do some quite surprising things. And it's one of those surprising experiences that I'd like to share with you this morning. Maybe you have a friend like this. We had been friends for a very long time, but we'd never had a spiritual conversation. She knew that I went to church, that I was involved in Bible study, but it just wasn't something that touched our relationship. So I began to pray for an opportunity to connect on a deeper level. At the time, we were living in different cities. One day, she phoned and said she was going to be in town and was wondering about stopping by after she had concluded her business. I was elated. I saw it as an answer to prayer, and I immediately began to think about what I might say. The day arrived, I opened the door, and I discovered that she had brought with her another woman whom I had never met. Suddenly, my idea of a deep conversation with my old friend evaporated. And as the three of us sat together and ate and talked, I couldn't help resenting this extra person who was there, ruining everything. And as my frustration increased, I resolved to go ahead with my plan anyway, because I can be stubborn. So I found a way to speak about the difference that knowing God through Jesus was making in my life, and I concluded with a suggestion that my friend consider Christ herself. She was quiet for a moment, and then she said, "I can see that this is really important to you, and I'm glad you told me about it. But it just doesn't speak to where I am in my life right now." So I thought, well, okay, I've opened a door here, and if she ever wants to talk, she can. Then the other woman said, "You know, I think it speaks to where I am in my life. I would really like to know God better." I could not believe it. God has such a sense of humor. The person I thought was so extra was anything but, and the words that I had so carefully selected for my good friend, God used to speak to someone else entirely. Later, I imagined God thinking in response to all my prayers, Heather's very focused on Terry, but Terry isn't ready. I know someone who is. So I share this simply to say that I have found that our God can be a God of surprising things. Someone who can use our faith, sometimes our stubbornness, and our prayers to do what the Apostle Paul calls exceedingly abundantly beyond anything we can think or imagine. So I have found that it can be an exciting ride. Thank you.